that. Put a little in the middle. Don't overcrowd it. You don't want people to just have straight beef. You want to have all the flavors in with it. Speaking of which, the other flavor is what I did not mention from earlier. They gave us some queso fresco. That on top. And then the rest of our cilantro, just barely a little bit on top. You don't want to overpower anything with another thing, so learn your kind of like amounts. Alright, good afternoon. We are starting something different tonight, I think. I haven't been able to show up for the past couple weeks due to both vacation and work. So, happy belated Christmas, happy New Year. For me, it's new hair, new year. Hope it looks good, hope it looks better. Everyone told me I might have looked a little bit homeless and not really kempt that well. So, this is what we're starting out with, trying to make it look a little bit cleaner. What I wanted to try to do with this one is instead of doing, I'll do once a week the regular thing that I've been doing where it's a cooking show pretty much legit. And then this one's going to be more of just me explaining my way through. Most of the time it's going to be a home chef. Just more in-depth work on like knife skills and just how to cook things and stuff like that instead of just a lot less editing and things that I have in the other video. I'll still do the other kinds of videos. Next week I'll hopefully have another one up by Wednesday or Thursday. But I thought it'd be neat to do something too, kind of like a quick fire form. Most of the time it will be HomeChef, not sponsored by them yet. But we're going to do fajitas tonight. And it's fairly simple. I think I really only have to cut like 3 things. So first off, what we have to do is to stem and clean the ribs off of a green pepper and de-seed it, and we'll cut it, we'll julienne it. So first thing you want to do with things like this, there's different ways to go about it. My favorite way is to do top then bottom. You can also stand it up straight and kind of like curl it around like that. I got 2 knives tonight. I'm gonna go with the bigger of the 2, father and son action right there. Go with the bigger one of these 2. And so I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were saying that I needed to go a little bit maybe more in depth on knife usage and skill like that. So to make it simple for what I usually do, this isn't the way you have to do it. I might do it with this one actually from up top. I do it like this. So you have a knife right here. I like to do what they call a pinch grip like that, and it's seriously just simple as that, like light, and kind of curl your fingers like that. And I'm barely putting any like grip on it. I don't want you to like, if you death grip it like that, then it's just weird control and stuff. But if you do it like that and it's nice and clean and you got a nice like almost pivot to it, and you want to have the knife do almost all the work. The knife weight will do it, and if it's sharp enough, then it'll slide right through it. I have been honing it, so honing it is just with this, with your steel, and just to go like that. It kind of unfolds your blade, because if it's super sharp, then it should be like so nice and fine that if it hits the board, it'll kind of like fold over as you go. So you need to kind of like straighten it with this guy. You're not trying to sharpen with this, but you're straightening with it. So a few times on that, we'll straighten it back up. So back to this. So like I say, top bottom, always do your little claw grip like that. So claw, you can either pull it towards you like this, or you can kind of push it away like this. And like now you got this top right here, bottom right here. These parts are kind of trash, so I won't be using those. But I do it like this. I'll do it the safest way I can, so it won't be scary. But you're gonna try to detach the seed part from the middle. So see, now we got it in half like this, and then we will now, like, these are the ribs. These guys right here are the ribs. This is where some of the heat comes from. Most of it's all gonna come from the seed and the capsaicin in there. And you can make it easier on yourself to make a little bit like sections like that if you'd like. And you're going to obviously take that part off, move these 2, And then what we're going to do is kind of slide this underneath your hand as you're coming. So try to do it in one kind of like fellow motion like this. Not pushing, we're kind of letting it move back and forth like that, rocking back and forth like that, instead of like, don't ever like that, you know, you'll take your finger off if you do that. And that's pretty clean right there. It's good. So we're going to do it to all of them now. You want to take away the rib part of this to the side, and then this to the middle. Seeds out. Stem. One more time. Do it to one, do it to all. Remember that. That way you can, you don't have to go back to doing the same thing over and over again. Don't like destem and then try to julienne it, then come back to derib and julienne like that. Just do it to one, do it to all. So I like to stack them into neat things over here because I am an anal OCD SOB. So I like to do it all at once, and I'm working left to right because I am right-handed. So left to right being from the board, I'll go from this side, middle to the right side. Got my trash can down here. Always try to work in like a really nice, just, I don't know, it's weird to say, like tight, I don't know, space and area and stuff that works really well for you. So again, this knife will really help me out when it comes to julienne because it's so long. The little guy I like to use for more dices and things like that. So I'm going to do it like this. Go skin side up. And we're pinch gripping again. A little bit of grip right there, like that. Still loose. And we're letting the knife kind of run through like that. And with this one, we're kind of slowly like grabbing it back. You know, you don't want to do such a tight thing with this hand because it'll just, you'll lose a little bit of control. As odd as it sounds, like you think having a tight grip will give you more control, but you want to do it nice and light on both hands. And you can also do it this way too, if you feel more comfortable not going through the skin first. It won't snap quite as hard, but it'll run through it easier. That, do it to one, do it to all. Keep moving. And I'm kind of like, it's weird to say, you're kind of moving, but you're also kind of like slowly walking your fingers back like that, but you're just very slowly coming back, like easy grip, pulling it together. And most of it is kind of just keeping it all in place, and your other hand is kind of keeping the cadence and thickness or thinness of it that you want to do. And you can even come to the point, like what you'd be doing at this point is nothing, you see, like that. But if you move your hands back as it goes, it'll go, and then it'll stop as it goes, so your knuckle is keeping all that from going still. So just keep sliding through, like that. And you got your green peppers done. All right, next is our tomato. This is a Roma, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure this is a Roma. You're gonna put it down like that. First, we'll take a sip of our adult coffee. It's booze. Go back to the board down here. Again, top, bottom. And this says to core it out and dice. So, I'm actually going to switch to the little guy, because big one will get a little bit cumbersome. Hone again. And I'll start doing it the way that I like to do it. So I like to go forward from tip to end right here. Slowly slide like that. With tomato knives, you might see the ones that are really long. Those are actually really good because you can kind of do a full-blown slice on it. But I've always liked the little guys for little things and bigger guy for bigger things. I'm not really pushing down. That's how they do it in infomercials to make you think that you got a really like dull knife, is they'll do, you know, like the black and white guy who can barely hold it. It's because they're pushing down really hard on it on purpose to make it like squish everywhere and be gross. So we did the top, we did the bottom. We did the same thing as we did with the pepper. I'm gonna go like this, spin it, and I'm gonna do kind of quarters like that. And then we're gonna do pretty much the same thing we did with the green pepper. I'm getting rid of the seeds in the rib again. This. Boom. That. So in case anyone was wondering, I am a massive Bears fan, so I'm a slight bit heartbroken because we lost the game, but I do not blame Cody Parkey for it. It is just a shame. It's nice that we got that far, but my brother is a Eagles fan, so it's been fantastic for our family and us that we have to, it was we called it the, Slaughter Bowl of 2019. So here we go into dicing this now. So we're pretty much just julienning it again. So again, if you want to do skin side up or down, whichever one is more comfortable for you. I like to go down. And we're supposed to be doing like a small dice. So again, fingers like this. And we're going to slowly, like that. You can pick your knife up if you feel like it. Either way, you're going to do like, I almost call it like, I don't know, it's like a train where you watch how the wheels kind of like continue to keep moving like that, where there's a perpetual motion of it just like, like that. I don't want to make the train sounds because, I'm not like a 5-year-old or a dude trying to get a 5-year-old to eat peas right now. So just like that, like that. There. Do it to one, do it to all. Sorry, I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to need counter in the corner for that one. And then we'll put that into these little cutie pies that we bought the other day at HomeGoods. And that is dicing your tomato. We need to do an onion now. It says the julienne in it, but I'm going to dice it because I want to show you guys that as well. So, down here, little guy. Again, like always. Top. Bottom. As always, keep that pinched rib. I'm going to go this way like that. Get it in half. And you want to peel off this just, weird skin pretty much. That stuff is not good. And that's not good for really stocks and stuff either. It's just pointless. But it keeps it protected, I'm sure. Always try to be cleaning, ABC, always be cleaning, keeping everything in your station nice and neat. Or the chef will yell at you. And we're going to, okay, so, pinch grip again. I got the long knife out again so I can make a nice kind of sweeping motion that way. And I'm not going to be pushing towards the end of this. I'm not going to be, it's more of a pull, but like diagonal. And I like to do from fat end to skinny end. And I'm always I'm kind of doing like that as I move forward. Almost like a C, if you will. The letter C, not the water, because that wouldn't make sense with a knife. All right, so again, sorry if this gets out of the shot, but I think it should be good. I'm going to always put your hand, there to keep it still too. Fat to skinny, fat to skinny, and that's a pretty good like medium dice size. I just do 2 up like that. Do it to this one. Fat to skinny, fat to skinny. And then we're going to do kind of the same thing, but on the top end. I think a lot of times a lot of people think it's more of a just straight down motion as you're coming across like that, like chop, 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 chop. But again, you want to like pull towards yourself. So I'm going to start the knife blade over what it seems like I should be. But as I'm pulling back, I'm coming down. So like start up here and then kind of come down. Start up here, kind of come down like that. So as opposed to like this, I'll just show you. Like again, it'll be like an infomercial, but we'll do like this. This is like you're pushing down so hard, and you're also messing up the tip of this guy. So get that back up. Oh wow, loud noise. Sorry about that. And we're gonna go from this like this. Pull towards yourself. Again, like that. It's okay to even have this guy almost up a little bit. And you're pulling back. And again, this other hand is keeping the cadence or the space of it. So again, this is more of a, I'd say mid-small dice, medium, if you will. And then this way, we're going to go skinny to fat, right? So almost what we were doing before with the julienne. like that. And I do like to pick up off this one and kind of just do each one individually like that. So we've done slow. Now I will keep these for stock or compost later. So let me do one full speed for you. So I've already done the 3 like that. We're gonna come back like that, right? I already took off the tip end right there. Professional, really good job. Come back like that. And then we're gonna come back like this. And speed is all just about practice, 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 man. Time. Cutting your fingers, your digits, your everything you can, and complaining about it, but not giving up as you go. So we got our diced red onion. So we're pretty much almost there. Honestly, I'm just going to do this really quick. It's just a lemon quartered. So again, I like to do like this. Spin it around, top and bottom, if you will. Always try to make a flat always try to make a flat surface no matter what you're doing, especially if you're going to be doing this elongated cut like this. So that flat surface again. Now we have it like that. Oh, she's all dull. I look stupid now like that. Oh wow, it's bad. Let's flip it like this. And do it like that. Super professional. There. All right. And then, so the last thing we're going to do at this point, like on the cutting side, is cilantro. And with cilantro, you don't have to destem it. You can keep the stem fully intact. You don't have to pick off all the things like you do with parsley. It's kind of a good thing to be a part of it. It's part of the flavor, and it's not as tough, so it'll kind of like melt into it. And I'm going to go back to the long guy. And so this is kind of like where a lot of knife skill comes to a head, to see if you know, this is where all the lessons and stuff kind of really help out and come together. What you're doing here is you're trying to take this big old flimsy fluffy mess and make it as tight and compact as you can. Because as you move towards cuts like chiffonade, which is just a fancy way of saying real thin parsley or real thin cilantro, you're going to need it to be really tight. If you're doing it super duper professionally, you would leaf by leaf stack it on top of each other, roll that up, and then come back and cut it, which is, that was the first restaurant I worked in, French restaurant. So we're not going to get that fancy yet. Just do it again like this, pinch grip. Come back, and we're just gonna do like this. And again, like I was saying earlier about how you're stopping it, I'm not cutting anything right now at all, but this knife knows the speed it's going at. All I have to do is like bring it back every once in a while as to the thickness that I want. So I'm going for fairly thin because it's for garnish and for the end of the beef and the sauce. So I want it to kind of like really kind of break down and melt and get in there nice and good. That I won't go completely to the end. I do have a few little extra guys here. Careful. Don't pick your knife up past like your knuckles and take your knuckles off. Alright? And we'll put it in this just adorable little guy down here. Alright? And so now we're going on to the cooking portion. Alright, so first off, let's look at the hard-earned work we put in today. We have our beef that was already done. Sorry, that is not part of the hard work. But here's the diced tomato. You have your diced red pepper, our julienne green pepper. That is a red onion. That is not a red pepper. Good Lord. How long have I been doing this? And then we got chiffonade. We'll call it chiffonade. I don't have to tell anyone it's not chiffonade. Chiffonade cilantro, and just the quartered limes that took me so embarrassingly painstakingly long to cut. And then over here we have a pan that has been getting nice and hot for a few minutes. I like to get it rolling before I get over there. I'm going to put some oil in it. And then you want to get that oil to actually get to a consistency of almost water. Don't just put oil into something and then drop stuff in immediately, because that's just putting something into something that's pretty much cold again, because it needs to catch up, the oil needs to catch up and make it nice and warm and hot and sear it. And searing is what you're always looking for because that's where a lot of the flavor is. So first we're going to do our beef. We're going to need to transfer it to a plate for now, and then we'll go into the kind of vegetable portion to get the sauce ready for it and put that beef back into it. So I'm going to put the beef on this plate, and then we'll go back in with all the vegetables. We got to let that pan get a little bit hot again. So first off, let's go over kind of like what we're going to do first into what we're going to do last. You kind of always want to hit your tougher things first. So I'm going to do the peppers first, so it'll give it a nice sear and let that start cooking. Then the onions will go next. And we'll finish it off with the tomatoes because they don't have very much like structure to them. So you want to put those in last so they'll cook but not overcook and become mushy. And we'll give it a spritz of the lime and then cilantro after that. I'm also going to add a little bit of garlic that they did not add to the recipe or have in the recipe. And feel free to use this stuff that's already chopped and minced and put into oil and stuff. We can go over chopping garlic, but don't ever let anyone give you hate for using this kind of stuff. If anyone tells you otherwise, just let them know a guy with pigtails on the internet told you otherwise, and they'll believe you. So, over to the cooking. Peppers first. Now we add the red pepper. Red pepper, good lord, I keep calling it red pepper. It's red onion. Red onion, add the red onion. And now let's finish it up with the tomato, lime spritz, the cilantro, and some garlic. Say about a teaspoon of garlic. Probably about right. It also came with this little cute packet of taco seasoning, so I'm going to put that in now too. Now we need to reintroduce our beef or steak back into the mixture that we have. So like I said, this one's a little bit less professional, I think, than the other ones. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put this all together. It might just be a jumbled mess. But anyway, we've got meat done over there. I'm going to go ahead and put tortillas in the oven, just on a tray. And when we come back, like what is a Sunkist commercial or something coming soon? I don't know. We're gonna build these this fajita, and I'm gonna show you what I paired it with. It's just gonna be a simple wild rice on the side. It was from a package. I did not do very much work. Do not worry. So that's next. Beautiful, beautiful plate right here, and tortillas to the side. Go ahead and put one like that. These cute little tongs right here we just bought the other day. That. Put a little in the middle. Don't overcrowd it. You don't want people to just have straight beef. You want to have all the flavors in with it. Speaking of which, the other flavor is what I did not mention from earlier. They gave us some queso fresco. That on top. And then the rest of our cilantro, just barely a little bit on top. You don't want to overpower anything with another thing, so learn your kind of like amounts and layers and such. We'll fold it up like that. It won't stick, but whatever. And so we'll finish up with rice that I mentioned earlier. Kind of always come in, I don't know if you can see it. Let me shoot to this one. Kind of always come in like this, and kind of, if you got your spoon like this, use your whatever it is, pot, pan, whatever it may be. You kind of like almost, I call it a trap door, where you slide it from under like that, so it gets rid of all the excess that might be on top of it, and that way you can kind of drop right down to where you want to be. So back to this, and slide like that. One more, like that. May have overcooked the rice just a tad bit. I mean a lot. And so that's two of them right there. So this is the HomeChef fajita with a packaged wild rice that we had from earlier. So that's good. It's good. So please let me know what you think of this kind of shorter, quicker thing off of. It'll probably mostly be my HomeChefs, as opposed to a from scratch idea thought process that I will be doing in 4 days pretty much. This one's the first one, so I don't exactly know how it's all going to look when it comes out the other end after I splice things together and stuff, but let me know what you think of the hair, the dish that we did today, the cuts, the shots, things like that. Please send them to, I don't have it on me right now, but it's wakeupsmellthe@gmail.com, all little letters, wakeupsmellthe@gmail.com, all little letters, or leave it in the comments below, and you can put your pictures on Wake Up Smell the Instagram, and each one of those is a new, it's a capital letter in between those. So thank you very much for this first kind of beta test of the unprofessional cooking side. And you came, you sauteed, you conquered.